going on, everybody? This is Black Violin here, and today I am going to be doing a review on the War of Crown fairies. As you can see, I have 4 of them sitting around my little dinner table. They're not very great conversationalists. They all say the exact same thing repeatedly. So, to get into what they are useful for and why I think you should build a fairy, I am going to show you the fairy I built, go over her skills and everything else. So to start, she has a leader skill. They all have the same exact skills. Her leader skill is an effect resistance. She increases the resistance by 16%. It's not really a great leader skill unless you're going against like a team such as Mythic 1-1, because the spiders do poison, or even the 2-star wanted spiders, they poison as well. So it could be beneficial there, but other than that, it's really not like the best leader skill. It's very, very situational. So for her basic attack, she waves a flower bud, dealing 105% magical attack, magic damage to a single target. And this is maxed out. I forgot that again. This is actually the 3rd video I've made on this fairy. My first one, it messed up during the video, so I had to restart it. I made the 2nd video, uploaded it to YouTube, and deleted it off my phone. And whenever I deleted it off my phone, it decided to take it off of YouTube as well. So here I am, 3rd time, doing a video on the fairies. So if anything you get out this video, you should take that to heart, that I see this fairy as such a good 3-star monster that I'm willing to do 3 videos on her. So I'm going again over their skills, and this is without them maxed. I wanted to show you their skills without them being maxed out, so you'll know what you're getting when you first initially start building a fairy. So her basic attack, waves a flower bud, dealing 70% of magical attack damage to a single target. Her second is pollinate. It sprinkles pollen on her allies, healing all friendly targets within range for 30% of her HP. And this goes up to 50% of her HP for a heal. Her third skill is cultivate, which waves a flower bud over allies within range, increasing their HP by 20% and their defense by 30%. This is actually different, I believe, than my fairy. I'll look real quick. No, it's actually the same, sorry. But to go back over, it'll max out at 40% HP increase and a 50% defense increase, which is very, very useful. And she has a passive of an action charge speed is increased by 60%. So, how do you build this fairy? Well, obviously she has a heal, and she also increases their HP, her own HP and her defense, so she's a very defensive monster. So you really want her on a strong HP build, because her heal is based on her HP. The more HP she has, the more she's going to heal. So I'm going to show you mine. This is my fairy. As you can see, she has 4,300 HP and just a little over 600 600 attack, and about 500 defense. I gave her gloves because the gloves are HP based weapons. They all have an HP build, as well as this one had an action charge speed and has flat HP. I'd rather it would have been a percentage HP. If you can get percent HP on her gear, that's really good. As you can see, I also enchanted it for the 14% HP because I wanted her to have as much HP as possible. So as on here, again, I was aiming for really high HP, so I gave her the brooches, which I do believe you get from the Titania wanted bosses. They all have very high HP. It has defense, and it also had effect resistance, which was really good because as a healer, you don't want her being stunned or getting poisoned or anything like that, like stuns, poisons, or burns, or even defense broken. The effect accuracy doesn't really benefit her much, but I really didn't have excuse me, I didn't really have a better brute at the time when I started building her. I'm still trying to get another one. That's what my current goal right now is actually to get her some better gear. And magical attack's good to have on her because her attack is attack magic base. So it's nice to have magic attack on her, but it's really not like a big thing. You'd really want more. I'm sorry, I did not mean to close that up. You really want more HP and defense and action charge speed than anything else. As you can see here, I have the HP, I have defense and action charge speed. That was my focus. And again, HP, defense, and action charge speed. The reason you want her to have a very high excuse me, again, the reason you want her to have a really high action charge speed is so she's going first on your team, so she can use her second skill, and or not her second skill, her third skill, and be increasing your HP and your defense of your allies before anybody else moves. This is really beneficial because it's a very powerful buff. I have yet to find a similar unit that does an HP increase buff and a defense buff as well. So it's really beneficial. God, I can't talk suddenly since I tried to make this video. As you can see here, this one has a 209 speed. I have plus 58 speed on her with the passive, which does not calculate into it. She actually has an initial action charge speed of 269. So my fairy is actually a little over 300 speed. So what I'm going to do real quick is show you the top builds for the fairies here. I looked at these the other day. One of them just had a hilarious build, so I'll point it out to you. But just so you can see some of the top builds, this guy, he has the HP, flat HP, action charge speed. Defense penetration rate's really not useful for her. She's not a damage dealer. But he enchanted the max HP on her as well. So obviously he was going for a lot of HP and charge speed. with this glove. Again, he's got a high HP. This is actually a necklace, so it was more of a defense build. But he still got the max HP increase rate, flat HP, a little bit of magic attack and resistance. Here again, he used a necklace. So this guy was actually building his fairy more defensive instead of HP, which I'm not really sure why he did, because she'll actually be healing less because he went with necklaces instead of brooches. But he's got a defense increase rate, magical attack, effect resistance, and max HP again. And then this one he actually did use a brooch, so he's got a max HP increase percent, HP, flat HP, and magical attack. I wish I could see the rest of her stats. Because I'm really curious what her max HP would be and her defense on this particular build. But apparently we cannot pull it up. So we will go to the next fairy. This guy, I'm not sure if this is the one. Here he went for a more, it seems like he went for more of a offensive build, because he's got magical attack as the main, as his weapon of choice. He went for a support weapon instead of the glove, and he has a lot of crit damage on this weapon, as well as action charge speed and max attack increase rate. And then he rolled the max HP as the enchant. Here he's got the brooch, so it's more HP based, action charge speed, magic attack, and max HP increase rate. Action charge speed, HP again, flat HP, effect accuracy. You don't need effect accuracy on your fairy because she does not do any debuffs. Max HP, magic attack, and action charge speed. So like I said, this guy went for more of a offensive type fairy, which is actually very possible. This is how I actually found the fairy. Was during beta, my friend test builded one, and his fairy easily did like 3,000 damage, but she really wasn't very much of a healer. So you can go for a attack build on your fairy, and she will deal considerable damage. You could also do like a hybrid build where you use like a support weapon instead of glove, and then do like what is it? You could do like a necklace, brooch if you want like a slightly hybrid build. I guess that would probably be the best way to go. Or you could do something else. Like I went all brooches myself. Okay, this is the fairy that I thought made no sense, especially for it being a top build. Because as you can see, this guy's got HP, block rate percent, physical attack, again, HP. It does have magic attack on it, but that was really the only thing for this necklace that was beneficial. Again, physical attack was the higher roll. Effect accuracy, he didn't need, and HP as well is still fairly low for it being a 5-star or a 6-star gear. Again, he's got magic attack, effect accuracy. In my opinion, this fairy here is how you do not want to build your fairy. So as you can see, looking at mine and then looking at the top fire and top water fairy, that they were all pretty much built on HP builds. This guy, I think this one changed. Yeah, this one's not the one I saw the other day. So this guy has crit chance, HP, max HP percent, magical attack, and enchanted the max HP as well. He went for necklaces, so he's got magic attack, max HP increase, action charge speed, and defense percent. So this looks like it'll actually be more of a tankier fairy. HP, magic attack, effect accuracy. Don't need the effect accuracy, but it does have a fairly decent charge speed, as well as a high HP. Again, defense increase rate, magic attack, the physical attack rolled higher again, and effect accuracy. He could definitely change this out. It's really not a very good choice for a fairy. And then the last fairy has crit strike chance, magic attack, action charge speed, HP, magic attack percent, and max HP. So this could possibly be a... There's a lot of physical attack on these. I don't know how these people get as the top ranking fairies when the builds really aren't honestly that great. This one has a action charge speed, has the flat HP. Again, action charge speed. A good magic attack roll. I can see why he did use this. This has magic attack, HP. So that's pretty much, as you can see, the focus is mostly on having a really high HP. If you're doing a full heal fairy like I built, you want a really high HP, a really high action charge speed, and then a high defense. In that order, HP, action charge speed, defense. If you want a more attack built fairy, then you want, of course, magic attack, then HP, and then probably action charge speed. So to go and show you just how effective the fairies are, I'm going to run this fairy real quick by herself in heroic. Well, she probably can. Well, that would just take a little while. I'm going to just run her in heroic 1-1 against her other little fairy friends. And this will just show you just like how well she's able to heal and self-sustain just herself. That way you can get an idea of what you're getting out of building a fairy as well. She doesn't really do too much damage, to be honest. Like I said, mine's built basically to heal and support my team. So other than that, she just doesn't do much. And another thing, as you can see, these fairies are doing the third skill, cultivate, and it's increasing their magic power. And that's one of the things that really confused me when I started farming a fairy, because I was like, oh, okay, so all the fairies must do something else, and that's not the actual case. The fairies in scenario do a attack and defense buff, while the fairies that you obtain do these skills that I went over earlier. So that was just something I thought was a little unusual. I'm not sure if other monsters do that or not, but I thought it would be something worth mentioning. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to run my fairy in Mythic 1-1 because most people, when I know me personally, when I went from Heroic 410 to Mythic 1-1, I was like, oh, it's 3-star level 1 monsters, so I'm gonna blow right through this. And I was dead wrong. Like, Mythic beat me down so badly, it was not even funny. So I'm going to use this level to show you just how well she can help you sustain in Mythic, because really you don't need a healer in normal mode or heroic mode, but you really don't need one in Mythic either. But it's just a lot safer and a lot easier if you do run a healer in Mythic, because a lot of the bonus missions in Mythic, you have to use heroes with 22 stars or less combined, including your rep. So running a healer to get those stars makes it so much easier. Like, that's actually one of the reasons I decided to build the fairy, was because I wanted to get those garnets or whatever, and she was just able to help me do it so much easier. So as you can see though, she doesn't really do too much damage, especially compared to the other people, but she's able to take quite a hit. Aside from being useful in um, PvE or scenario, player versus enemy, whatever you want to call it, she's actually very good in arena as well. I have found that she's very, very useful in arena. The team I run in arena is actually let's go back real quick and I will show you. The team I run currently in arena is the Dark Callius as my leader, and then I use Fire Callius as my AoE nuker. Then I use the Light Fairy, of course. I use Light Arendelle as my tank, and then I normally use Faria here as my secondary support. So I run 2 nukes, 1 single target nuke, 1 AoE nuke, a tank, and 2 supports. Currently my team has been running 17 for 18. I did finally take a loss yesterday with this team, but I think I was 619 in arena ranks, and they put me up against some guy that was like 1820. I was like, wow. I was like, I know I'm about to lose this fight, and I definitely did. He pretty much came in and just one-shotted almost my entire team. I was like, oh my god. I was like, so arena's a little broken with the ranking system. But other than that, She is very, very useful. If you have not built a fairy, I definitely suggest building her. She's a very good monster. She's a very strong healer and a very strong buffer. She is pretty much one of the staple monsters in my team. There's not very many places I do not take her. If I'm running mythics, the way I cleared all these stars, as you can see, is actually with my fairy. I haven't done 310 yet because it's just a 310 is actually the craziest level in my opinion. But as you can see here, one of the bonus missions is clear using heroes with no more than 22 stars combined. I used the fairy, I used a Dark Nastin rep, and I used my own tank as well to run this, and it was just like a breeze doing all these missions. And I just recently did this, so it's not like I'm super strong or anything like that. Most of my gear is still 4-star or 5-star. So that's just like one way you can look at fairy and be like, okay, you know, this guy was able to clear all stars, mythic, and everything because he used a fairy. And honestly, that's really how I did it, is using fairy. Like, she just kept the team alive long enough for them to do what they had to do. When she's very easy to skill up. Also, she shows up in all the. I'm in the wrong area. She shows up in all the 2-1 areas, whether it's in normal, heroic, or mythic. She's in all the 2-1 areas, but in heroic, she is also in. Let's see, which one is it? Okay, so it might be mythic that she's. Okay, so I'm like completely wrong. One of these, she's actually in another area. There it is. Okay, so in normal, she shows up in 2-1 and then 2-6. And then in heroic, it's 2-1 and mythic 2-1. So it doesn't matter what part of the game you're in. She's an obtainable monster, and you can skill her up. She's not hard to skill up. So, like I said, I definitely suggest building her. She's a very powerful 3-star monster, easy to skill up, which makes her even better. So pretty much, if you don't have her, get her, build her, and you'll love her just like I do. Like I said, this is the third time I've done a video on her, so that's one way you can look at it. Like I said in the beginning, there's not very many monsters or heroes that I would be willing to do a third review on, especially within a few days. So yeah, definitely build her. But with that being said, please leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe. I'll be doing more videos, hero reviews. I'm currently working on how to gear certain monsters or certain types of monsters, like the ranged, DPS, mages, assassins, and so forth. I'm going to be doing individual build guides on them, as well as guides on team compositions, so people can see that this game is more than just throwing a team together and praying that they work, because this is a strategy game. Team composition is going to be a very, very strong thing in the game. It's currently not, because the game's pretty early, but they're currently talking about releasing a chaos library, which is going to be like a multi-tiered dungeon. If you play Summoner's War, it's pretty much going to be like the Trial of Ascension. So team composition is going to seriously take a big role in that. So like I said, please like the video so more people can see it. It'll show up more in the search if the more likes it gets. Subscribe to my page, because like I said, I'll be releasing more videos as the game progresses, and so forth. And leave a comment also on other heroes you would like to see have a review. If I don't personally have the hero, I'll try to find a friend that does have the hero and use their hero as a rep and do a review on them as well. And thank you for watching my video, and I shall see you in the next one.